Okay guys, how's it going today? So as you can see, there's some evidence of a mystery tractor that was in my yard here at one time. And if you're wondering what that shit mess right there, all that dust, that's my air filter. Yesterday I was going to go out and get some diesel fuel for it, and it would not crank, it would not start. So I ended up over cranking the batteries, or over cranking it and wearing the batteries down, so I think there's more dust. And then yeah, so I ended up kind of weakening the batteries, so I had to charge them. So luckily, my old charger, which I guess was over at my uncle's place. I think he was fixing it or something. Mine kind of works. Well, it works, but it does need some work as well. So, because yesterday I wanted to go out and get some diesel fuel. Now, in my tractor, I got 2 tanks. They're all hooked together, of course. So it's like one big giant freaking tank. And yeah, I didn't know exactly how much diesel fuel would cost, and he said it would probably be about $2 a gallon or something like that. So I guess it's really cheap. So, and there was already some in the tank, and so I just filled it. Costing me, well, because the tank in the back was just about empty. There was probably like this much left in it because I stabbed it with a stick. Because I didn't know if the fuel gauge was reading correctly or not. It seems to be reading decent, but it's not reading very accurate. Because I put a full tank in. It cost me $112 to fill it with off-road diesel. Because the bottom tank was still full. So I just filled it. It cost me $112. A little bit more because I used my credit card, and he says that, well, since you're using your credit card, I have to charge a little bit more. I guess, for like a fee or whatever for using a credit card, which is normal. So, I gotta fix Big Red's racks again. What the hell's up with that? I thought they were fitting okay, I guess not. I don't know. So, yeah. Went and got some diesel fuel yesterday. Got a full tank. But my uncle said that while we were waiting for the batteries to charge up, because the one was pretty weak and the other one was decent, he said, let's take the hood off and let's check the, like oil and air filters and stuff. The air filter, on this tractor there's 2 filters. There's a main filter and then there's a secondary filter that's inside your main filter. So like if the main one was to get a hole in it, then your secondary filter would catch everything. Well, I took the main filter out and it was just packed full of dust and shit. How the tractor managed to run, getting very little air, I don't know. And I spent probably 30 minutes just banging the dust out. And then after that, I took another 30 minutes and I took the air compressor to it. I put 80 or 90 psi in the tank and then, blew it out the rest of the way. It just, something is living in my walls, but what is it? I hear it. I hear it, but I don't see it. That takes me off. Oh, what the hell? Oh, there it is. There is a butterfly in my trailer. I guess he can't fly very well. Huh. Well, I think that's a fly or a butterfly anyway. I'll have to pull them out, I guess. But yeah, so the air filter was completely clogged. It needs to be changed, obviously. The guy said that there would have to be some maintenance to it, you know, regular maintenance, which is not a big deal. Um, and then my uncle checked the oil. First, the oil said it was low, but then after I had gotten it running, we had checked it again and it said it was full. So, and the oil is completely black, meaning it needs to be changed. So, yeah. So, yeah. And after, this is what's funny. When I was test driving the tractor, nothing worked. The headlights didn't work, the blinkers didn't work, the radio never came on, the windshield wiper never came on. After we didn't fully charge the battery, but we got it pretty damn close. Well, I never checked it when I had pulled it off the trailer when the guy brought it. So I don't know if it was working then or not. But everything started working. And my uncle checked the fuses and he says they looked fine. So, because I think they're glass fuses, they're not regular, like, I suppose what's in newer machines, you know. It's got the older glass style ones, I guess. And, he said they were fine. So, but then after we cranked it over and we got it to go, I checked everything just, you know, for shits and giggles because the radio turned on. And I turned the lights on, and I think there's one light in one of the rear lights is burnt out. Unless it'll work later on, I don't know. It seems like as the tractor gets used a little bit, more things start to work. So, today was supposed to be the big day where I go get the loader installed. Well, I was maybe about 2 or 3 miles away from where I have to go to get the loader. Now, remember, I did not have any duals on. I had my duals off. Okay, the tractor came with duals. I had them off because I don't need them for in the wintertime. The rear right axe, no, don't say that because I ain't it. The rear right rim. There's 2 rims on these tractors. There's the rim for the tire, and then there's your cast iron rim in the center. The rim that had the crack in it. I never showed you guys that, but I told you guys before that it had a crack in that rim. Well, it let go. The rim exploded. The freaking tire. I don't know really if it had a tube, so I think the tube is pretty shot, but I don't know what about the tire, because the guy looked at it and it's at the dealer where the loader's supposed to be being put on, but I'm not going to be getting a loader now because a rim. Because see, the thing is that my tractor is different from any other tractor. In a way, not really, but in a way, kind of yeah. You don't see too many of them with this kind of a setup. I think it was mostly set up to be a hard puller tractor. Like it's meant to pull chisel plows and discs and crap like that. You know, it's apparently set up to really work its ass off. So it's got different kind of rims. You know, and yeah, well, the rim just let go. So I hope that the tire is okay, but I know that my uncle said that well, because we were talking about tires and shit earlier on. This was even before we even took off. This was yesterday when we were charging it. He said that the tires would need to be replaced because they were getting, you know, they just looked like they were wore out. Well, the one that blew out actually wasn't wore out. The guy at the dealer, he checked both of the inner tires, you know, the ones that are on the machine at all times. He says, well, the one that blew out is new. It's a newer tire compared to the one on the left. The left has more wear on it, which is telling me that this has happened before. Now the guy did show or did tell me that there was a crack in the rim, but he failed because I figured that there was just that one crack. One crack, no big deal. He welded up; it'll last for a couple of years. But the guy pointed it out that the rim has been welded multiple times because the rim started ripping itself apart. So, yeah. So for a new tire, it's going to probably be about $1,000, and then a new rim, possibly 1,500. So that takes the budget out of my loader. And then, and come to find out, which you don't need, for the kind of work that I'm going to be doing, I don't need this, but the tires were loaded, and they were loaded with calcium. Explaining why the bastard had to keep welding the fucking rims. Or the one anyway. You know? So, I don't understand why just that one rim kept going out, but because the left one's, I think, alright. But the right one gave out. I was only about 2-3 miles away. It's like, you son of a bitch. Wasn't exactly the happiest, and it wasn't a very fun moment when my tire blew out and that side of the tractor slammed to the ground. Yeah. Well, when it slammed, it obviously bent the rim even more, so that's why it's no matter if the tractor never fell, it's the point, or if it didn't fall very hard, it's the point that the rim was already cracked to begin with. So naturally, with the weight of the tractor falling on the rim again, the rest of the welds failed. They couldn't take the abuse and just started letting go. So it's kind of a freaking damper. Well, there's freaking calcium in the fucking tires, and that does two good things. One, it gives you more weight in the tires, so you have better traction. And two, it doesn't freeze. Calcium doesn't freeze. So, but it sure in the hell does eat out your fucking rims. So, my camera's not focusing. I guess it is now, but, you know. And I looked at the rim, too, and the rim is just rusted. So, it's telling me that the left side's probably not too far behind from being rotted out, too. So, the game plan now is he's going to have to make some phone calls or whatever, because apparently they don't exactly do tire repair jobs. He just told me to bring it on in, and that they would try to find a tire in a new rim. But he says that it's a special size because the way it's set it up. So, and they don't know what well, for a brand new tire, I think it's about $1,000. For a used one, it's probably less than that. So he's gonna price one out for a new and a used tire and rim, and then we can choose which one we want to go with. He says that if you do go with a used tire, he's going to find one that's got very little wear and that doesn't have cracks in it. So at least you're practically getting a brand new tire, but yet that's had, a few hundred acres through it. So it's not going to be exactly a brand new tire. But what are you going to do, right? So it was not a very pleasant landing. Let's just say that. That made me jump out of my seat there for a minute. Because that son of a bitch is fucking narrow, and I'm really surprised that it didn't tip over, but I guess the truck is, I don't know, I guess it's stable enough as the way it set it up, but yeah. It's not a good time. Not a good time at all. That kind of pissed me off, though. I mean, yeah, I knew that it had a crack, but I only knew of the one crack. And that one was obvious because I seen it. But I didn't know there was multiple other cracks, or, well, they were welded up, but it showed to me that they did a piss poor job of welding. Like, I understand that you don't want to spend tons of money just buying a new rim. You would rather weld it. But if you're going to sell it to someone, or sell it to a dealer and then have the dealer sell it, you kind of should be willing to put some money into it. Make your people happy. So, I mean, it kind of ruined my day. And I had a hell of a time trying to figure out who the fuck to call. I was calling people left and right, and I called one guy, and that guy said he was going to call someone that he knew, and he couldn't do any damn thing. And one guy told me to call a tow truck company, and apparently they would have equipment, like they would lift the tractor up from the back and then haul it into town. Well, I called them. They said, no, we don't do that. We only do semi trucks. Like, oh, well, that's loaded to fucking know. So I was kind of just getting like kind of the run around, and I was just getting frustrated to the point that I called the guy where I bought my diesel fuel from. I called him, and he says, well, he says the only thing you could do is to go back home, grab a dual, one of my duals, and put it on. He would come out with his big jack, and he would jack it up, and he would put it on, or him and his buddies, or whatever, I don't know. And he says we could put it back on, and then you could limp it home. So I was deciding, well, he said you could also, or just drive it to the dealer, where I wanted to get my loader. So I was, going back and forth thinking of what the fuck to do, and my grandma was saying, oh, just bring it home. But the tractor's no good to me if it has to sit, to get the rim replaced. And I have the money to do it. It's just that I didn't want to do it because, that money was supposed to be put into the loader. And no, that's probably not going to happen. I don't think the loader is going to go anywhere. But, I mean, if someone should buy that loader, then I'm out. I have to literally go buy either another used one that I ain't going to be happy with, or a brand new one, which I definitely know I probably could not do. So, like, I'm happy with the tractor, besides the minor problems, like oil. I mean, that's maintenance shit. That's, I still have to figure that one out. I'm not even sure what kind of freaking oil it takes, and oil filters and shit like that. Well, the filters, it's got the part number on there, so I know I can call whoever and they would give me the right ones. But for oil, I'm not 100% sure. The air filter, it's got a part number on there, so there I'm covered there. But the dealer said, where I'm getting the tire replaced, he says that he'll look it up and he'll give me a price check on a full maintenance kit for that tractor, and he says that he'll do it if I want to pay that extra bit. Which he said that if I wanted to do like a complete overhaul, he says that he would replace engine oil filters, air filters, just the one, not the both, but just the one, because the inner one's fine. And then he was talking about the fuel filters, that sometimes water collects in the tank and that goes into the filters, and then that's what separates your fuel from the water. And he says that's part of the maintenance kit, that they would replace all that. So, I don't know if it's within budget, I may just do it, but that's going to put a damper on the loader deal. I mean, at least, yeah, I got a decent running tractor, but son of a bitch. So basically, meaning if I can't get a loader for the tractor, Big Red's going to be back to plowing for another fucking year. And of course, then the 400's still hurting too, so I don't know what to do. I mean, we need a running tractor, and neither of us have really well, I'll have a running tractor, but it's going to cost me probably the loader, I'm not going to be able to get the loader now, So I don't know, I may have to, if I have anything left, I may just have to put it in towards the 400 and get the 400 fixed, because we need at least one tractor working until I can put money together and get a loader for mine. It was going so good, too. It was, there wasn't a problem. Going all the way there. It was a slow drive. Halfway through it, I thought I was going to fall asleep a couple times, because it's just, it's only a 3-speed, and you're only going so freaking fast, so. And I didn't even want to rev it at full throttle, because I think they changed how it runs. It seems like when you have it at, like, not even full throttle, it seems like it's already running at full throttle. So when I try to go even more, it just sounds like it's over revving. So I don't know if maybe if they changed the governor or something on it so it runs more wide open. I kind of honestly don't like that. So unless that's just the way those tractors are because they have so much power in them, I don't know. But it just it's just not something I guess I'm really used to. So but yeah, I mean this morning when I got up or I was about to leave, I had it running for probably about maybe 20 minutes, you know, to really let it warm up because I knew it was going to be a long drive for the poor thing. So I just wanted it to be warmed up and ready to go, and of course it didn't want to start. I had to give it some ether. I gave it ether, but I don't know if it helped. I don't know if it just cranked over on its own or if it actually needed ether, or if the ether actually did anything. So, but the things that are going to happen to the tractor, besides getting the rim fixed, it is going to get a new block heater because the one that's in there now don't work, which is not something you should keep from your people when you're selling a tractor. You know, but I mean, because you buy them as they are, but you know, you're kind of dirty that you're not willing to, you know, say what's wrong with the tractor if you're selling it. You know, that's just kind of dirty, I think. But whatever. I mean, you buy them as they are. So that's what happens when you buy used equipment. But I don't know. It sucks. But yeah, I definitely need a block heater because it's just not going to start on ether and you know the fuel itself. It's going to need a third source of you know power to get it going. So you know, well, the oil will be stiff. You know, so and then of course, unfortunately, the poor thing will have to sit outside. So that's why you need a block heater. But I don't really like them sitting outside. But I don't have a building big enough for it. It's just that goddamn big. So, yeah. But the road got covered in calcium shit. Side of the tractor got freaking covered in it. Like, it was so weird because I think, let's see, the first thing I heard is that I heard the rim explode, and then a split second after that, a body of crap just came right above. Like it's like when you drive a car and you're hitting a puddle of water. You know how it kind of like rolls away or whatever. It's kind of like a wave. It goes up. You know, it splashes or whatever. Well, that's what it did. So, but it did hit the tractor too a little bit. Got the side of the tractor all wet. And it also does have a fuel leak in the return line. So, which I don't think I'm replacing. I'm just going to leave it as is. I'll probably replace it later on. So, I guess you might as well fix it up before you put a loader on it because it needs freaking help. It's going to need it. Oh yeah, and then when I got some diesel fuel, he also gave me a oil drum. Alright, so I was down to my last one. Wow, I'm going to be down to my last one here. So, but yeah. So I'm not even sure when or if, well, when, I should just say, when I'll be making a video on the tractor. I know a lot of you guys are dying to see it. I know a lot of guys, there's been at least two of them have been disliking the videos. Which I mean, I suppose they're ticked off because they want to see it. Well, it's just the way it is, you know. I like some people, you know, they're just wondering, you know, and I think some already know, but so it's nothing fancy. It's not new. Okay, it's not brand new. It's used, obviously. It's having problems. If it was new, I'd be using it right now. I wouldn't be sitting at a dealer a lot trying to get it fixed. So, but I mean, overall, the tractor seems to run good. I mean, it's got a damn good motor in it, from what I can tell, and the tranny's good. It goes through the 1, 2, 3 gears, you know, like I said, perfectly. It just glides right through them. So, like I said, that tells me that's been rebuilt. You know, but it sucks because now I mean, I was probably on the side of the road for at least probably 2 hours. Because it's just, no one really knew what the fuck to do. I mean, one guy says that it's too wide for his trailer or whatever. I don't fucking know. One guy tells me to go call a tow truck company. Because apparently they have a truck that'll do it. No, they don't. I already called them. I mean, I don't know. I don't think anyone has ever had experience, I guess, with tractors breaking down on the side of the road around here. I guess everyone, I mean, yeah, everyone maintains their equipment, but there's always a first for everything. So, but yeah. I think the very first guy that showed up was actually, not sure what the hell. I don't know if he was a road worker or I don't know, but he had a light bar on the top, so he was the first one to stop and asked what happened and stuff and whatnot. And then he left a safety cone behind to kind of give traffic a warning that there's a tractor, that's half in the lane and half on the shoulder, which it is, or it was, because when the tire blew out, I had made my turn into, because the tractor likes to wander. That's the thing with this damn tractors, they like to freaking wander. I had gone into the shoulder a little bit, and then I kind of turned to go back out, kind of like I was going too far in, and then poof, there it goes. So I guess just maybe when the tractor turned out, it just put too much pressure on that rim, and then it let go. But son of a bitch, anyway. And I had the guy here earlier with the to fix my air conditioner, or I had him lift it. Looks like he lifted it pretty good, but I think he might have hijacked my shovel. I don't know what he did with it. It's not laying there. I'll have to go look again. He might have taken off with my shovel. Great, we have a thief now. Oh well, shit anyway. Unless he put it back in the garage, I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention, so I was just too goddamn pissed off. It's not a good day, that's for sure. On the positive side, I did get my new computer. I've had that for a couple of days now. Seems to be working pretty good. I use it on and off. I don't use it full time like I do with my old one because it's not perfectly set it up. I haven't done much with it. I just haven't really felt like it. So, but I do a little bit here and there, 1 or 2 things a day with it, and that's pretty much all it. And yeah. But yeah, anyways, the guys over there where my loader was at, because apparently, I think the guy over at the gas station over there, I think he called them and told him to come out and do it, because I had called this guy here, and he says that he didn't really want to make that long trip. He's like, I ain't going all the hell out there, Well, he says that he would, but because I had told him that I was just thinking about taking it to the dealer anyway, regardless if we put our dual on. He's like, well, if you're going to do that, then you might as well just let them do it. Well, they didn't say that they were going to bring a fucking dual though either and do it. So he says, well, I'm going to call them and see if we can work something out. And sure enough, they showed up. They didn't bring a dual or anything, but they wanted to make sure they had the right size lug nuts, and nope, they had the wrong ones. So, thank God I had the car behind me. I had my grandma and my mom with me. When we came back home, I had to come and get the damn lug nuts so they can mount. They had the right size dual for the tractor, it's just that they didn't have the right size bolts. My bolts are a fine thread, and theirs are just whatever. They're bigger and they're thicker, so like, well, I got them at home. I mean, he says, well, while you're going home and getting them, we'll go grab the damn duals and the jack, and we'll jack her up and get her ready. So by the time we got back there, they already had it jacked up, and they were just waiting on us. And we were a little bit, it took us a few minutes more than normal. I thought we would have been there a little bit sooner. But I just had to, go to my room, sit down, and just, sit for a minute. Because I was stressed out at that point. And freaking people. So many people. I was walking by now. No one, I guess. I heard something, but I don't know what it was. But yeah. So I was just so frustrated and pissed off. I was like, I just need to sit down and cool off for a minute. I'm going to end up taking it out on someone that doesn't deserve to have it. So, even though I kind of would like to go punch that farmer, but that owned the tractor last, because whatever. And I did call the dealer too that I bought the tractor from, and I kind of chewed him out a little bit, and they said, well, we did notice the big crack, which is the crack that I noticed as well. And he said that he did take a picture of it and sent it to the farmer, and the farmer didn't say anything. So that tells me right there that you knew that damn room was nothing but fucking trouble, because obviously you kept welding to it. You welded to it, and then you painted over it. And they really must have laid layers of paint down, because you just couldn't see any of the other cracks. You could only see the one that was just starting. And that had already made its way to the valve stem. It either made its way from it or to it. What a shit show. So, if they can salvage the tractor tire, which I'm hoping that they can, because he kind of looked at it as soon as I pulled it in there, and he said it didn't really look damaged, because it looked brand new, and there was no damage from when the rim let go. But he says that most likely the tube inside is shot, though, which I guess, yeah, it probably fucking would be. But the tire might be okay, I don't know, but the rim's definitely shot. So he says that he's going to have to go hunt for a rim. He says either they're going to have to try to find a used one, or they could probably order a new one. So, but he's going to give me a price check on everything. Everything. Even the maintenance kits, for everything that was freaking up on the tractor, like oil, air, the tire and the rim and shit like that. He says he'll calculate it all up, and then plus the block heater, and then he says if it's within range and if we're willing to do it all, then he'll do it. But if you just want me to, if I don't know how to say it, he says that I can either do them all or just pick the ones that I want to do. Like, obviously the tire and the rim and the block heater are the ones that are going to get fixed. He says that he can just do that, but if he wants, I can't speak. My freaking brain is just melting today. If I want them to change the oils and shit too, they can do it. Which will save me some bullshit. I don't have to mess with it right away. But he says that he'll, add it up and see what it comes up to, and then if we want to do it, then we can do it. Which at this point, there's not going to be much left for the loader anyway, so might as well just let him frickin' just completely overhaul it. Be fucking done with it. Until the other fucking rim blows out. Oh, and he said too that they would also, if I wanted, on the left tire that's still got the calcium in it, he says that if I want that removed too, they can do it. Of course, they'll charge a little bit extra too if I don't want to keep it and they have to get rid of it the proper way. They have to charge me for that as well. Well, what the fuck am I going to do with it? I don't want it back in my tractor. So, that calcium shit can go fucking nut, because I ain't going to want it back in my tractors. There's no sense to that anyway, because fucking hell, that thing's heavy enough that you don't need them anyway. If I need more weights on the goddamn back end, I can either go get more fucking wheel weights, or I can get one for the 3-point hitch, a ballast box. Oh, and get this, yeah, my tractor didn't come with a top link either. So, but that's not really a big deal. I can go to Tractor Supply and get one, or I can order one. I don't know what category hitch that is. I think that's probably a category 2, but I don't really know. So, but that one guy said that he's hasn't seen my kind of tractor around, like for that size anyway. He says he hasn't seen them around for years, years and years, because everyone just outgrew them because um, farms here are just expanding out so much that they need bigger, heavier equipment, and these tractors just don't cut it anymore. Small time farms like mine and stuff like that, they're actually perfect for that. But for big acres, that someone that owns like 1,000 acres or whatever, they're just too small for that because they can only pull. Like for the size of tractor I got, I think I could probably pull with the duals. I think I could pull maybe a 24-foot disc. I think if I really wanted to make it work hard, compared to where if you get a bigger tractor, like that's like 300 horsepower or even 400 horsepower, you can pull like a 40-foot disc, or something stupid like that. You can get so much more work done with them than you could with mine, So, but for my size of field, and shit, it's still overkill. It's not, didn't need all that power, but it was the closest one around, and it was the cheapest one around, and it didn't have that many problems. On the positive side, the pressure gauge works, because I checked that. And the temperature gauge works in the cab. The tach's actually been kind of working. It worked yesterday, and it worked a little bit today. It'll just come and go as it wants. So it needs to be fixed, but not now. And then I think there's one work light that's out, and then yeah, it just needs some general love. It just needs oil and an air filter, and now a new freaking rim and possibly a new tire or another used one. So yeah, I'm not too happy about that. Like I said, I called up the dealer where I bought the tractor from, and I kind of gave him hell about it, and and I said, well, did the farmer even tell you, the guy that owned it last? I mean, did he even tell you anything about that fucking rim? And apparently not. So I think the farmer knew. So loud bobcat. So I don't know. I mean, the tractor is kind of useless, right now. Well, basically because I don't have a damn tire now, but it's kind of just a point that I'm not going to be able to get the loader now for it. It's kind of a shit show, but what are you going to do, right? It's part of buying used equipment, I guess. You deal with the problems. But, these are major problems, and these are, hard-hitting ones, too. I mean, I don't exactly have the money for a new, another tire and a rim. So I'm hoping that they can salvage the tire if it's not nicked and cut. And then just replace the rim. So, yeah. That's what's going to happen, I guess. It's kind of a downer, really, because, you buy something that's expensive, and it just seems like the farmer didn't care about it one bit. I mean, if I was to sell that tractor later on in life, I want the next owner to be happy with it, so I would fix the problems. I mean, if you want more money for your equipment, you got to be willing to fix the problems. I would not have killed this son of a bitch to go buy a new rim. Yeah, it'd probably be about like $1,500 for a new rim. But you could do it. You make your money back. Get the gauges fixed. If they quit, fix them. So that's not that big of a damn deal. It's like, why do you have a tractor if you're not going to maintain it, Like, I maintain my equipment, and you know, I give them what they need, you know. So, and yeah, it's everything still runs. You know, I think I got a little squeak now somewhere on the four-wheeler. Not sure if it's starter related or not, because it kind of comes and goes as it wants, but I don't know. You just keep driving there, I guess, until they blow out, but or whatever's wrong breaks. But you know, it's I don't know. So you guys probably won't be seeing the tractor for another quite a long ass fucking time because it's in the shop. And since it's so late in the goddamn week now, who knows when it's gonna get fixed? You know how long it's gonna take them to fix. So, but what are you gonna do, right? So, far farming, I guess. But even though I haven't even like started really yet, so I did get in the mail. I did get my plugs for the four-wheeler. I had to order like that little black thing there. That's what I plug my lights into, my warning lights. I bought 3 of those. They came today, and then I bought another 50-foot roll of grounding cable. That came today as well. I'm still waiting on my motherfucking fuel tank. So, yeah. And another thing that's going to be happening too, which I don't know if it's going to have to try to be squeezed in, is that I ain't going to drive it back home. They can haul it home, the tractor, because what if the other damn tire blows out? I ain't going to have money to replace it, you know. So I only got the money to replace the one, but he said that the other rim looked fine. So and the other tire looked fine too, right? So he said that shouldn't be an issue, but who knows? So screw it. It's only going to cost me probably like 150 anyway to have it shipped here because they only got to go like fucking 20 miles. It's not a big fucking deal. So, or not even 20. I don't fucking know what the hell it is, but it ain't that goddamn far, okay? You know. So, because I'm just not going to trust that other tire. The front tires I think are fine. So, and here's another thing. The front axle. You can extend those axles out, you know, for roll cropping or whatever. Okay, well there's supposed to be a bolt in there on both sides to lock the axle and the sliding axles into place. Well, on the driver's side of it, the original bolt is gone. They threw in another one, and then they didn't even put a goddamn nut on it. I was like, you stupid cunt. So, and of course, now ever since the freaking tractor slammed to the ground, I think when I checked it earlier, it was tight, so it probably got pinched in there. Because I was thinking about taking that bolt out and running to the hardware and getting a longer one, and then get a damn fucking nut for it. Even though I don't think it would ever fly out, but, you know, it's better to be safe than sorry. But if it's pinched in there now, which I don't know if it would be, it might pop back out a little bit once maybe the axles go a different direction or something, because it probably needs to slide back out a little bit to not be so pinched like it is. And if it don't want to come out, well then I'll take it to the dealer and they can put a proper crap thing in it then. Because I don't want to mess with it and the damn axle comes sliding out on me, you know. It probably wouldn't, but, you know, stupider shit has happened with me, so. But yeah, I haven't even owned the tractor 2 days and it's already got its first major breakdown. Which put a hurting on the loader, so. Hopefully no one else will buy the loader because otherwise I'll have to, you know, finance another one, you know, a new one or something. So. Because I'm not driving it. It's not leaving my place in the farm anymore. I'm not driving it to wherever it is. If it needs to be maintained, or, you know, I mean, if something majorly needs to get fixed on it, they're just going to have to come and fucking get it. Charge me then. I don't give a shit. When it comes to machinery and I want it to be maintained the right way, shipping is really not, I don't really care about it a whole heck of a lot. I mean, I still need to know, but it's not something that I really worry about. Because it's important. It needs to be done. and it's beyond my level of skills to do it. So, as of right now, maybe in 20, 30 years I'll know how to do it, but as of right now, it's not an option. So, how long it'll take them to fix that, I don't fucking know. So, but we'll see what happens, and we'll see if the tractor comes home. It'll probably be there a while, but first I'll probably have to go and hunt for a new rim, or either a used or a new one, rim, and possibly a tire, maybe. If they can salvage the original one, it'll probably be alright, but if it's got a cut in it, then it's probably going to be done for it. They have to look it over. They got to pull it off and inspect it, so yay. What you gonna do? And yes, my camera just freaking died again, so that's it. I'm done, guys. It's getting cold out now, so my battery doesn't last as long. So guys, I'm gonna take off, so I guess have a good day and stuff. So yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.